All right, we are back at day. This is day 8 of Talking Heads, and today I am in the middle of a park where I'm just gonna be yapping for 20 minutes. And if you don't, you can't really see, but there's like there's like a path right here, and people are going to be walking by, but I'm not gonna give a fuck because you know I'm trying to overcome my fear of talking in public. So here goes. Uh let's just talk of like small talk right now. So I oh yeah, I was gonna talk about last video. So last video I found out that whenever people walk by, I kind of zone out, and then what was I gonna say? Yeah, I zone out and then I kind of freeze when I talk, so I just don't end up talking. But today I'm gonna try to keep yapping even when there's probably gonna be people walking by. So yeah, that's gonna be a challenge, but let's get over it. Okay, so what should I talk about? Well, let's talk about my most recent video that I posted. So I put. Oh, it's kind of sunny. Like, I can't even look at the camera because it's so sunny. I should probably lower it. Okay, maybe I'll lower it. All right, I'm gonna lower the camera a bit because it's too sunny to look at the camera. All right, that's a lot better because now I can actually look at the camera and pretend like it's a person. But yeah, last video I posted, it was actually no, I just posted like 30 minutes ago. I added a lot of motion into my videos, so I think that was good um because I think like it makes it more engaging because before, like, I will watch my own videos, but then I would be like, is this even interesting? Like, does anyone really care about my videos? Do I even think it's interesting myself? And the answer to that was kind of like no. Like, I would be getting a lot of views, but then I'll be getting a lot of views, but then not many likes. So that was my issue. So I'm trying to be more relatable, trying to make the video actually interesting, and I think I kind of found the answer. So I was reading some posts, and I found out that if I add a lot of motion into my videos, people will just find it engaging. And that's what I'm trying to do with my new videos. And yeah, I think it did well. Like, I genuinely enjoyed watching my own videos now, and I think I'm gonna keep posting videos like that and keep making the editing style like that as well. Uh, what else should I say? Yeah, so I mean right now it's getting quite a bit of views. Like, I think it has like a 1K views in the first hour, which is usually a good sign that it may or may not blow up. But then again, I'm also trying to detach myself from the metrics because I just find myself, it's kind of like instant gratification. Like, I every time I refresh, I get a bit of like dopamine from that, and like I keep refreshing that page just for that dopamine hit. But I know I probably shouldn't because that's just bad for me, and I need to like transfer all that time I'm wasting. I mean, I guess not completely a waste, as in like I can see what's doing good, so that my next video is I can iterate and use that as like I can iterate on what did well and kind of repeat it and not iterate on the shit that did poorly or just improve on it in general. So I am, yeah, I'm gonna iterate on that next video. And I also need to detach myself from my metrics. Like, I mean, in a way, they're actually pretty good. So, like, likes, view rate, watch time, retention rate, all of that. I comments, saves, shares. Like, I look at all of that, and I kind of gauge why. Like, if something's low, I kind of intuitively I kind of know what what's wrong with the video. So for example, if the video has low likes, I know that it's not relatable or it's just not interesting, right? This like most people, they like a video because they they either relate to it or they find it interesting, right? Like there's two sides of it. For comments, it's I find that it's mostly just either if I post something controversial or like something that makes people, kind of like feel some sort of way. That's how that's how you get comments. But I don't really care about comments. Like, I mean, actually, I should care, right? Like, because that's how Instagram pushes out my shit. Oh yeah, I haven't been. I mean, I guess I've been adding a CTA, which is follow along my journey, but it's not really that strong. So I need to improve it. So shareable content is very good on Instagrams, and Instagram pushes out a lot of that. So I think shareable content is the one that has humor and is pretty funny, right? So last video I actually included a bunch of like slang and like terms that I haven't used in the past, such as like what did I use last term? Oh yeah, I used psych. I forgot. I just added like, oh yeah, I used like strat, like calorie deficit strat, and that was kind of made it. I mean, I guess I could just use gamer terms, right? Like I used to be a huge gamer, so if I just say like, oh, W's in the chat, or like, like, oh, am I cook chat, stuff like that. That I think that would make it humorous and relatable and shareable, right? Because last video I got like what 10 shares, and that is more than any of my videos have been shared before. And I think it's because I said uh what's it called? I'm on a mission to getting shredded because my girlfriend called me fat, right? And I think people just found that hilarious, right? So this time I'm kind of doubling down on that aspect because I figured out that that kind of works, right? So I'm gonna keep doing that. Uh, in terms of savable content, I think a lot of savable content is just content that has like a tip or like some value in it, right? So I need to get better at that as well because I'm not really good at providing value to my videos right now. I'm just kind of documenting my journey and seeing if people follow along or if they share or like, you know, can relate to me. But before, I don't think my videos were very relatable, so that's why I wasn't really getting views. So yeah, I need to work on all of that. Retention rate, I think now my retention rate is actually going up. Like I think roughly 20% of people watch my video to the end, and like I think after like the first 3 seconds it drops to like 50% retention rate, and that is a lot better than my first videos, right? Because my retention rate used to drop like that. It was like 100%, and then it goes down to like of some of the good videos they go to like 30%, but a lot of videos they just tank to like 20% retention rate in the first 5 seconds because I wasn't using like motion, I wasn't using dopamine edits, I wasn't doing none of that in my videos, and now I'm getting more comfortable. Like I I feel more confident filming videos in public now because before, like if I filmed a video, I wouldn't even know how to use it or edit it, right? But now, even if I film a video now, I know how to edit it and I know what angle looks good. So that's making me feel more confident in just filming in general because like I know what I'm doing, right? And I just don't like look like an idiot in public when I film. So I think after I nail down the editing and stuff and like oh yeah, I added pattern breaks. So pattern breaks, they're basically I'm trying to do every roughly like 10 seconds. I have one pattern break. So last video, or like 30 minutes ago, I posted a video with a pattern break, which was basically in the middle of the video, I changed up the music. I added like a black screen that said psych, and I think that worked pretty well because uh like it basically it keeps people's attention, and I don't know, it's just interesting to me. So I'm gonna I'm gonna keep doing pattern breaks probably every 10 seconds and just seeing how it goes. Because next video I'm gonna include 2 pattern breaks just to see how that works, because maybe like even shorter, right? Like every time I say but, I'm gonna add a pattern break. I think the format that I really like so far is the but because so I say my hook, and then I say but this happened, so like but this problem happened because something else happened, or like because I did this, right? And then I'm gonna say, so here's my game plan, and then I'm gonna say another problem, right? So problem stacking to its max, right? Keep creating conflict in video. And yeah, next video I'm gonna add more pattern breaks. I'm gonna repeat the format that I've been doing, but maybe add in more clips. And I'm gonna try to film more stories about random shit. Maybe like I'll talk about things that happened in my day and try to make a video out of that. So what else can I say? I kind of paused there because people walking by and I froze again. So I'm gonna still getting better at that. So far, 3 groups of people have walked by, and that was the only time I froze. So that's good. Getting better. Uh, let's. Oh, I think for this talking head video, I was just gonna do a challenge, right? Gonna try to make something that's pretty damn boring into a story, right? So this is gonna be the story of how. Well, I'm gonna try to use this format. I think it was called forgot the exact. I forgot what the exact format was, but I'm gonna try to tell a story. So I was trying to mod my car, and alright, so sorry if I like break up. Like, I'm trying to recollect my thoughts to tell better stories. So I was trying to mod my car, like it's a Honda Civic hatchback, and I'm trying to make those sequential taillights because I love how the Audi taillights look. So I was going to install it, and I was looking into it for like over a year because I didn't know how to install shit. And but every time I looked into like those install videos, and then I see like wiring sticking out everywhere, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not gonna be doing that because I feel like I'm gonna fuck up something and something's bad gonna happen, right? Because I thought that you had to take out the bumper. I thought you had to drill a hole. I thought you had to, do the wiring yourself. But my friend did it a month ago, and it looks amazing. So I'm gonna be doing the same thing for my car. But what happened was that I bought the kit, right, from Amazon, and when it came in, I was super hyped. I was telling my friend, I was telling my friend like, yeah, I'm gonna be installing this shit, and I'm super hyped because it looks so sick on your car, and I want it on mine too. So I got the package. Everything looked fine. Everything looked the same as my friend's. But what happened was that the wait, sorry. But what happened was that I asked my friend to help install it, and then oh my god, my nose is so stuffy. So I asked my friend how to install it, And then we went down to my parking garage because he was gonna help me install it, right? Because he did it for his own car, which is pretty brave of him, by the way. I wouldn't mess with the wiring whatsoever. So we're in the parking lot. We're sitting on these like flat cardboard pieces, and we were like taking out the headlight, like using like a flathead screwdriver to like unscrew everything. And we took out the headlight, and then what happened was that uh what happened was that what happened what happened was that after we took out the headlight, we're trying to connect the I don't know how to describe it, but like there's like these two connectors for the wires, and you're supposed to connect them yourself, right? But I think there was like a fuck up from the manufacturer, and like the part that they sent us, like there's like a pointy end and like a hole, and you're supposed to connect them, but I wasn't able to connect them because we weren't able. Like we're sitting in a parking lot trying to connect these two items for 1 hour, right? My friend was telling me that like, this is supposed to be like not even like a 20-second activity, and yet we took an hour just like trying to plug it in, right? Like we're trying to force it in, trying to figure out like what the fuck happened. And yeah, we were just fucking around trying to install the light, but we couldn't. So I was like pretty damn disappointed because I waited like 3 weeks for those lights, and I waited another week for my friend to be available. So in total, I waited a whole ass month for these lights, right? And I was so hyped. Oh, did my camera move? No, I didn't. Yeah, I was so hyped to install these lights, and then I got disappointed 2 days ago. So I had to go return them because like obviously there was some fuck up or some defect with the shit, right? So this yesterday I went out to Google, went out to Reddit, and like I was trying to figure out, right, like watching YouTube videos, seeing, is it really my fault or like, because it's like really simple. It's literally just plugging in some random like some connector, and that really shouldn't take that long. But that was the first step, and it was supposed to be easiest, and we couldn't even do it. So now I'm on Google. I'm searching up, how to connect these two, right? And I'm reading like, so I was digging into like these lights, and like I was reading one of the reviews. Like it's so hard to find reviews because for my specific model, which is the hatchback, uh, there's not that many parts for it because not many people even have a hatchback for the Civic. So I was reading into the reviews, and then there was this one guy who kind of like tipped me in the right direction into what I had to search. So the little thing that I had to do, that I had to connect, was actually called a JST connector, and I had to basically plug it in, but the review was like, "Yo, do not buy this because actually no, I don't think he said that. I think he said, oh, he gave a 1-star review, and he was like, oh, the JST connectors don't work, like they aren't compatible with each other." And I was like, wait, that's the exact same problem that I'm having. But the issue with this was like, when I bought it, my shit had no reviews, right? So I was like the very first person to test it out. But I went on AliExpress, and then I searched for another part that's the exact same thing, and then I looked at the singular review on it, and I found my answer. And that's when I was like, damn, so it's not my fault. It was definitely the manufacturer's fuck up because other people are having this issue too. So I contacted the manufacturer, and I submitted a return request on Amazon because I was pretty disappointed and pretty mad, right? I'll be even more mad if, I couldn't return it. So I ended up buying a slightly more expensive version of the light, but this time it actually had reviews. It had like a 4.3 star rating with like 17 reviews. So I'm like, damn, this is finally. And it's also the same brand that my friend used, except he had a sedan and I had a hatchback. So So now I'm looking at the reviews. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty trustable, right? Like I'd rather pay an extra $30 to like just to know, because this shit takes so long to come from China that I'm like, I'd rather just pay an extra $30 just to guarantee that I know what's coming in and that it's gonna work, right? Because I was gonna buy another one of the same. It was a different supplier, but they use the same pictures, right? Because it all comes from the same factory in China, anyways. But I was like, what's the chances that this one is not compatible either? Because it also has no reviews, but it's just a different different like seller on Amazon. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna take the risk because I'm gonna wait another 3 weeks for the shit to come in, and then I'm gonna have to risk it again, have to return it, lose money and time. So then I ended up not choosing that one and choosing the more expensive one, which is more reliable, and it's also gonna come in on Friday, so I don't have to wait 3 whole weeks to do it because I really want it on my car because it looks so cool. So now I'm packaging my return. It was this morning during work, uh, and I was ready to return it because I was disappointed and thinking like, I was thinking like, bro, how are they gonna fuck up, a piece of equipment that's like, it's not supposed to be fucked up, but they did it anyways. So it's lunch now. I am hungry as hell, and I'm driving towards the nearest Canada Post, which is like 5 minutes down the road here. And then I go like, as I walk in, I looked at the counter person, and it was not the same counter person that I always see for the past like 3 years, right? It's always this one like Asian auntie with like a bowl cut that's always there, and this time she wasn't there. So I was like, damn, this where is she? She's the only person I've ever seen at that counter, and I go to Canada Post like pretty regularly to return my Amazon packages. And this time it was a different Chinese auntie with like I think like a ponytail and like had like different look, right? Different person. So I gave her the package. Oh shit. I gave her the package, and it wasn't like a normal Amazon package where if you're familiar with Amazon packages, you kind of have to scan the return code, and then you just give it to them, right? And they pack it for you, right? This one was different. I had to print out the label beforehand. It was shipping to the States, right? And then like I had to fill out my own address, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, it's not what you usually do. And there was also like a part where like I had to include the postage stamp. So I was like, damn, so I'm gonna have to pay for this as well. Fuck. So now I'm at the Canada Post place. I give the package to her, and she's like, "Oh, where's the QR code?" And I'm like, it didn't come with a QR code. It just told me to put this on the package, put the slip of paper that says what it is inside the package, and just give it to you, right? And the lady was like, like she was basically. It seemed like it was her first time at the counter because she was like, oh, what do I do? Not what do I do. She was like, you know, she asked like the dumbest questions. Like one of her questions was literally, oh, what's this called? And I'm like, a parcel, and she's like, oh yeah, a parcel, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, bruh, do you not work here? Like, how do you not know what's called? It's literally okay in the description of the computer. Like, there's a screen facing me, and it literally says parcel there, and I'm like, bro, or like, woman, do you not see? It says parcel right in front of you in your screen, and guess she doesn't know what a parcel is. But I mean, she wasn't like fob either. Like, she seemed like kind of like my mom, like where like she immigrated probably like 40 years ago, and like she kind of lives here. She knows English and stuff, and yeah. So she asked me what parcel was. She asked me like, oh, what do I put for the address on? I'm like, bro, aren't you the one working here? Why am I answering the questions for you? She was like, should I just put so the on the return label it said like Alex and like a bunch of numbers, right? And she really asked me like, oh, should I put the whole thing there, or should I just put Alex? And I'm like, you should probably put the whole thing there. I don't know. Why am I telling you how to do your job, right? And yeah, she obviously put the whole thing, right, because like that's the most logical thing to do, right? Like why would you just put Alex, right? Like who the hell is Alex, right? There's a bunch of like numbers, I don't even know what it means. And yeah, I was shipping in the States, which is kind of weird because you know I'm 100% sure that this shit is from China because it took 3 weeks to come here. So I'm not sure why there's a factory in the States that I have to return it to. So yeah, I was like, damn, do you really just not know how to do your job? Because I've been here for like 10 minutes, waiting for you to return this package. Usually, like I come in, I give the package 20 seconds in and out. Like even if like it has something on there, like the old bowl cut lady used to know how to handle that stuff. But I guess this person just never did one of those before. Uh, so now I'm gonna So now I was gonna return the package, and then she wasted like 15 minutes of my time, and I was like, bro, shit taking forever. And what else? And yeah, and so the package was like $60, and I spent $15 trying to return it because like there were like three options. It was like the $40 option, which was like express, and then it was like $15 option, which was no tracking, and then $20 for like tracking. But then I was like, bro, I'm spending $60 on a package, and you're telling me a third of it is gonna go to a return package, or like even a half, right? Like, bro, I'm choosing the cheapest option. There's gonna be no tracking. If it gets to the factory, then it gets to the factory. I'm not gonna track it or any shit. Amazon better give me my shit, or else I'm gonna complain to them because, you know, like that is not right. So in the end, I got $45 back. I don't know if I'm satisfied or not because that just means that I'm basically paying double the amount for what I should have paid for those lights. But you know, like sometimes if you value, like if it's how you perceive the value of money, right? So I'm paying extra like $30, so I'm paying like $90 to get the lights now. But I see it as I'm paying more to not deal with having the wrong part, or like uh to not deal with like a 3 week wait time and deal with like random shit that I normally wouldn't deal with. And I trust Amazon, so I'm gonna keep using Amazon, and hopefully I get the right part and I get my shit installed on Monday. Monday? Maybe Sunday? I don't know. Whenever my friend's free. Damn, has it been 20 minutes already? I feel like that was pretty interesting, honestly. I might just keep doing that. Like, just try to make something not interesting interesting. I just tell a story about it because I'm trying to get better at that. Even in my normal conversations, I want to be able to tell a story from start to finish. Oh yeah, that I just remember this now, but the acronym that I've been following to tell better stories is LATED, which is shit. I forgot what it stands for, but it's basically like, oh, emotions. Okay, T is thoughts. So what are you thinking during your story? So I was thinking of, I'm disappointed about my lights. I'm super hungry, and I'm thinking, oh, is this a new person? Why is she taking so long? Right? Emotions. Oh, I mean, emotions is disappointed. I'm a bit angry because, I'm talking to my girlfriend on the phone, and I'm thinking, why the hell is she taking so long, bro? I got shit to do. I got video to film. I gotta go back to work, man. Like, you're actually wasting my time, right? Dialogue was like me telling her, oh, she was like, is this a parcel? I mean, no, what is this? And I'm like, what's this called? And I'm like, a parcel. And she was like, Oh, Paris. Yeah. Okay. So that's dialogue. Forgot what. Oh, A is action. So I went to the what's it called? The postal office, and I returned my shit, and also I was trying to install my lights. What's L? La- language? I don't know, honestly. But I'm gonna improve on that next time. I'm gonna use the same framework to tell a different story, try to get better at it. Maybe I'll say something interesting this time. I mean, I guess that was pretty interesting, right? Like, if someone's probably watching this, which probably no one is, but if someone watches that back, even me, I probably find it interesting, right? Because that story, kind of got me angry. So kind of go. Oh, wait, it went through like a roller coaster of emotions, right? Like I was happy at first, and I was disappointed, and I went what? Wait, happy, disappointed, and then angry, and then now I'm kind of neutral, right? Like I paid more, but then like I'm gonna get. Hopefully, I'm gonna get what I expect to get, and hopefully it goes back to happy, right? Because I'm gonna be happy with my purchase, even though I paid double for what I should have not paid for. Anyways, I'll probably end this. Uh yeah, a bunch of people actually walked by. One kid even stared at me, and I just focused on the camera because I just pretended like I ignored them. I didn't freeze this time, so that's good about me. I I also did use a bunch of hand gestures, which is not natural to me, and I am feeling great. So I'm gonna keep doing this. I will see you guys next episode, whenever that is.